Welcome to Local Edition. My name is Brad Pomerantz. Our guest is the Chancellor of the University of California at Riverside. His name is Tim White. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. We appreciate it.
Brad, my pleasure.
Well, UCR is quite the hot campus. You know, you never know what's going to be hot one year and the next, but it's UCR's turn. Out of 9 campuses on the undergraduate side, UCR had a real spike in freshman applications. What's going right?
Oh, everything is going right. I mean, you're right. It is our time. It's the mix of our academic programs, but it's also our communities of color. We are by far and away the most diverse from a racial, ethnic point of view, age point of view of any of the UC campuses, and students like that.
And one wouldn't think that in the Inland Empire you would see such wonderful diversity, but apparently I'm wrong.
Apparently you are wrong, Brad.
That's many times I am.
But you have a worthwhile job.
There
But no, it is. When I was appointed, the Regent said, you know, the University of California looks like, tastes like, smells like, is California. And when you think about that from a place to study, a place to do research, it really is the future of this, not only this region, this state, but this country, and we're very happy about that.
Now, the downside of being the hot campus is that your applications are up in a year when you're going to have to cut your freshman class, I understand, by over 400. Talk to me about those challenges, sir.
Yeah, that is hard because, you know, at the end of the day, what we do is knowledge and human capital. And so we are rolling back by 10% of our residential California admissions for the fall, and yet our applications are up almost 7.5%. Across all of the UCs, it's up an average of 4.5%. So you see that students are voting with their feet. So we're also going to try and make every effort to take in more community college transfers to bring some students in at the third year to kind of fill the place in. Overall, our campus will grow by about 1% next year compared to last year.
And how large is the campus undergrad-wise?
We're about 18,000 students total. So that includes undergraduate, graduate, and professional students.
This may not be an issue that you can address, but I just want to pose it to you, and that's the question of out-of-state admission. Obviously, we want the UCs to be for Californians, but I understand our out-of-state admission is 5-6%. I mean, couldn't one way be to offset these budget challenges is to invite more out-of-staters in? They pay more and...
Yeah, it's a very important question. It's one we're addressing on our campus. I mean, the out-of-state student does bring more revenue to the institution. We are here as a public entity for Californians, but to best educate Californians, they need to be with students from other states and other countries in their class to enhance their learning. So when they leave here with a degree, they can work and compete and prosper in a global economy. So it's in part educational, it's in part financial. We will take our international and out-of-state students up a little bit.
Now, do you have the option to say we want 10%, we want 15%, or is it statutory? How does that work in terms of out-of-staters?
There's no statutory limitation there, but I think, you know, there would be a very difficult political moment if all of a sudden you had, you know, a large percentage of out-of-staters and you were displacing Californians. So you have to find that balance. Our campus is welcoming to all of the Californians who are eligible. 94% of our students choose Riverside, which is a stunning number.
Oh, really?
Yes. And we're going to grow our undergraduate out-of-state population by a little bit, but not to displace in any way, shape, or form a qualified California resident.
I'm sure that every program at UCR is fantastic, but I have to think that UCR is known for certain programs. So what, if someone is unfamiliar with UCR, what are its kind of crown jewels?
Its crown jewels exist in the area of agricultural and life sciences, so in genetics, in plant biology, in entomology. Our engineering programs are young but growing rapidly. We just started a civil engineering program. We have wonderful engineering. We have our life sciences. We have a biomedical science program, which is the first 2 years of a medical school. We have a wonderful program in the humanities and the arts, and in theater, and journalism. You might actually be interested.
I would love to. And we'll talk about UCR's plans for a medical school at a subsequent time, so I look forward to that. Chancellor, thank you so much for joining us. It's really been my pleasure.
Thanks for being here.
You bet. For Charter's Local Edition, I'm Brad Pomerantz. I'm Brad Pomerantz, anchor for Charter Communications CNN Headline News Local Edition. Now, if you've missed any of these interviews, you can always watch them through Charter's video-on-demand free service, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, to access all of Charter's Local Edition interviews on VOD, please go to Charter's Channel 1 and then click on Community Interest and then click on Government and Public Affairs. And thank you for being a Charter customer.